Next speaker is Michael Sicher. Sicher, sorry. He's a founder founder of CEOs on Wheel, a mentoring program for people in wheelchairs, and president of High Rollers, an organization communicating the abilities of people in a wheelchair. After studying business informatics, gathering experiences in management, and as an IT consultant, he began coach executives. He offers a workshop giving an insight to living with a disability and is lecturer at the Vienna University of Economics and Business. Aside from his qualification as executive coach and management consultant, his clients appreciate his ability to mentally think ahead for overcoming barriers and to develop creative solutions, just as his somewhat different experience of life. Michael?
Thank you. Hello and bonjour. When I was a small child, I think nobody thought about this accessibility. I don't know if there was even the term Barrierefreiheit, like it's called in German, but to some extent it didn't matter because I was easily to carry around, and so we took our vacations in Italy, and it was no problem at all because I was lifted in the bus, the stairs to the elevator, up and down, and it was no problem. But soon it began to be a problem, and it was not possible to go there So some years ago, we tried to find an accessible hotel there to go back, and I checked it out, and they said, okay, it's fully accessible, no problem, we can come at any time. So we went there by car and drove some hours, only to see that the elevator was too small, and we could return on the same day. So this was not a fun experience. And maybe that's the starting point for doing Room Chooser today. And yeah, still it's not clear to many hotels what accessibility means. So we have standards in Austria too as well. It's called ÖNORM B1600 and 1603. But it's still not clear what it means to us as guests. We all have different needs. Some needs a clearance under the bed for the lift, others need grab bars and so on. And so I wanted to find a platform to make it very easy to find a hotel room that's really useful and you can enjoy your vacation or business trip. So to find and to get information, what I do at least is to Google for accessible hotel rooms, for example, and I often get many results, but they are often also useless because hotels, at least in Austria, don't mention their accessible rooms and details on their accessibility at all. So you get information like this. It's a sample from an official tourism site of Salzburg. So you see that there are 8 accessible rooms, but at every subsection, like shower, toilet, room, and so on, you see there is restricted accessibility. You have a lot of measurements and so on, but you don't know how to use that. It is terrible to imagine how the room looks like as a guest. So how do we get information? I can explain it to you from my planning to Montreal. So I try to find out which hotels might be accessible. So I start with Googling or go to booking.com, check the accessible checkbox, get a few names. Or I also visited the Carol website and checked the hotels. And then the fun started. I looked at the websites. Mostly there was no information at all about the accessibility of the rooms. And so I have to contact the hotels. So I told them what I need and asked for information, and then I hoped the information is correct. I have to say I didn't find that much rooms that were perfect for me, because I needed a connecting room for my personal assistant, and I needed a bed that had a clearance underneath for the lift. So then finally I found one hotel and booked it. You see, I wrote here if available, because I had it in Austria, for example, for going to a wellness trip. They only have maybe one room, and you have to be lucky to get this one. So if it's free, you book it, and then you got to be prepared for surprises, as I was. So we arrived at the hotel after about, I think, 15 to 20 hours, it was 20 hours, only to find out that the bed had no clearance underneath, so I couldn't get to bed, and this was bad. So they tried everything to adjust the bed and so on, but the hotel didn't obviously know which accessible features they had. So going back to Room Chooser, I tried to don't use that much criteria. So I have only a few search criteria, and they are room features. And here you find, for example, do you have grab bars in the toilet, in the shower, or is the bed has the better clearance? Then there are hotel features like automatic doors, or can you use the main entrance, or have you used the side entrance? Or does the hotel, for example, provides airport transfer? And if they provide mobility aids like a shower chair and so on. And I try to make it very simple with the interface, with only the 2 points would like to travel, and been there, done that. So you see it on the next slide. Would like to travel, start with 2 points. First of all, the main part for searching for the rooms. And there are also listed some travel reports, because as we heard here already, it is not only the hotel, it's also what you can do in the environment. So I asked people to write about their travel experiences. So we have some reports about Budapest and Dubai and so on. And you can make yourself a picture how it is there. Been there, done that is for writing travel reports and for listing rooms. So when you're a guest at the hotel, you can make photos of the room and publish it there. And the point for hotels will be changed to destination information, because we want to include information about accessible restaurants, for example. This is very interesting for hotels, especially in the high-end hotels in Vienna, because no local goes to the restaurant there. So the hotels are trying to get locals in the restaurants, and I always tell them, you have the great resources because your restaurants are accessible, and you have the toilets there, which you don't find in most of the restaurants in Vienna. Okay, the next please. So the main point is that Room Chooser is based only on pictures. And I have to say, at this moment, it is only targeted to people with reduced mobility, but I can imagine to add information for blind and deaf people as well, and their needs. So you get a list with the hotel rooms listed by hotel, name, and on the right side you have the view search criteria. You can check and filter the rooms, and you see that you have the room number, and that's very important to me, because it's always good when you see, as when you get the hotel room you see here, because it can be that the other room at the other side of the hotel has the bed on the other side, and you can't go or can't transfer from your wheelchair to the bed because it's on the wrong side. So that's why it's based on specific rooms too. So we have the predefined pictures. There are 8 of them, and I thought those pictures represent every information one needs to travel. So you get a look into the room, you see how it looks like, you see the bed from the side, and you can assess the height and see if it's with or without clearance. Of course, you see a picture of the living area, the desk and so on, if available. Then the main part, view into the bath with the details of the sink, the shower and the toilet, of course, so you can see the grab bars or if the seat is where you need it and so on, and you see a floor plan or an escape plan of the room to see, for example, if there is enough room for your mobility aids, for example. Okay. Yeah, the next thing I told you, it's a specific room. So the idea is you look at Room Chooser, check your requirements and filter the results. Then you take a look at room information with the 8 pictures. See if you can use it, if you have everything you need, and then you can fill out a form on the room site to get a quote from the hotel directly. So the hotel will tell you, okay, this room is available for the time, it will cost such and such, and you can then book it directly by the hotel. So this is no booking platform, it's just an information platform. And you see it looks like that, so you have the pictures, you can scroll through these, and if you log in you can request a quote, and you can say I want room 101 or I want any accessible room, and on the right side you see the room features again and the hotel features as well as the mobility aids they provide you. So this site is live since about 4 weeks and will be online in German and in English. In a few days there will be the possibility to send the form also from the English version. Okay. So how do the rooms get onto Room Chooser? First of all, I try to get as many hotels as possible to list their rooms. It's not that easy. And they have to sign a contract where they tell that they meet minimum requirements. For example, of course, you have to reach the hotel room without stairs. You have to have a roll-in shower, and the width of the doors must be wide enough, and so on. Then is the goal that guests list the rooms, so when they are abroad in a hotel, they just make those 8 photos. It takes about 10 minutes, and you will be able to upload it directly to the Room Chooser homepage. And of course, roomchooser.com, it's me, I'm going to hotels and check it, and try also to sensitize the people to accessibility. I think many hotels are insecure about us as guests, and often they don't know what they already have. They are more accessible than they think. Okay. Yeah, so how was the startup? The general feedback from guests is that it's a very helpful site, and they have enough information based on the pictures to choose whether to stay there or not. And of course there are the hotels, and some like it very much, but those are mostly those hotels who already take accessibility seriously. So I have private-owned small hotels. They liked it very much and signed up during the startup phase, and others, especially the large hotel chains, are a little bit reluctant. One side because of insecurities, on the other side they have company policies, so they have to get an official photograph to take the pictures and so on. It takes much longer. And there are the local tourism organizations. They like the idea too, but they don't support it with any money, and they just say, okay, it's nice, and accessibility is a great thing, and we have to do it. Okay, so this is the vision. It's exactly the title of this presentation. I really want to find an accessible hotel room wherever one wants to go. So maybe in a few years there is an accessible hotel room wherever a hotel is in the world. So let's see. So I can only ask you to contribute and take those photos and send it to the platform. Okay, so here's my contact. Please feel free to contact me. And if you're going to Vienna sometimes, please let me know too. Maybe I can help you and tell you more about getting around and finding a great hotel to stay. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
Michael, I was just curious about your choice to not include rooms that have tubs, but only include rooms that have roll-in showers, because I know a lot of people that prefer tubs or need tubs, and doesn't it just come down to personal choice?
Rooms with tubs are not excluded, but the minimum requirement is that there is a roll-in shower, so you can have both.
But to be included on the website, they have to have a roll-in shower.
Yes.
So you do exclude them if they don't have a roll-in shower.
But I can change it.
Okay.
Sure. For Michael, you were saying it's a two-step process for registration. So first, the hotel has to say they're interested, and then somebody has a user has to volunteer to go there and take photos.
It's not a two-step process. It is possible that the hotel alone lists its rooms, and that guests go to their rooms and take photos and list those.
So there's no requirement for photos.
It's a requirement for photos, but you don't need, the hotels don't need someone to, an expert to approve this. So they take the photos and put it online.